Hello, 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 hello. Okay, good afternoon, and this is day 8 of our book reading of From My Belly to Yours, written by Tamani Wakaribombo. Today it is World Book Day. I hope you have taken something to read and celebrate the day with us. If not, this is the right opportunity for you to listen to me reading. If you have not yet read anything or you did not get an opportunity to listen to me, I hope you go and read something before you go to sleep tonight. Today we're going to be starting with part 3 of the book, and it is entitled The Book Matures Abundance. Hi Ranzu. I'm going to read on the title, I Am an Ocean in a Drop. When we look at other people comparatively and competitively, we are not seeing them as our brothers and sisters. We are not loving them more than we love ourselves, and we are definitely not seeing them as God sees them. That was written by Craig Groeschel. I went to one of the best high schools in Giyani, called Giyani High School. Our principal was called Mr. Kosa, but the whole of Giyani knows him as Look Sharp. He did look sharp in the way he dressed. He was also sharp in the way he managed and led the teachers and the learners. We were petrified of him. Under his leadership, discipline was a given. When he was not around, there was an air of freedom in the school. When the school siren rang to signal the break was over, most of us kids will still be running around and not go back to class immediately. However, if Look Sharp just stood at the center of the school, saying nothing and looking around, we would all scramble like mice running away from a cat to our classes. Some teachers will play hooky and not come to class. That will be our opportunity to play and make noise. One rainy day after break, the teacher did not come back to class. As it was raining, we were happy and knew that the teacher would probably not come to class at all. As we were jumping up and down our desks making noise, one of the learners saw our principal walking in the rain past our class. Remember, this man was always wearing expensive suits. The learner shouted, "Look sharp!" And in a second, the class was very quiet. Within a few minutes, the teacher was in class teaching. That is how powerful, feared, and respected our principal was. Look Sharp was also very strict with our education and test marks. In order to motivate us to pass, the school introduced monthly top 10 learners. At the end of each month, there was a special assembly where all the top 10s of each grade were called to the front and applauded by the whole school. It was a monthly parade that most students wanted to be part of. The students who were known to be intelligent will compete to be part of the top 10. I used to dread the months that I knew I had not done well, but loved and looked forward to the end of the month assembly on the months that I knew I was at the top 5. Even though this system was good at motivating learners to study so that they could also receive recognition at the end of the month, unfortunately, it also gave rise to a poverty or scarcity mentality that most people suffer from. It also left those who thought they never had a chance resigned to their bottom part of the class. Unfortunately, most of us have carried this scarcity mindset to our adulthood. It rears its head in the organizations we work for and in our families. Economics teaches us that there are always limited resources for our unlimited needs. To survive in the corporate world, which is called the corporate jungle, where dog eats dog, employees have to fight and compete with each other to get what they need. Hence, we end up fighting for the resources, that is budget allocations, for our projects by downgrading or backbiting some of our team members. We believe that because of the scarcity, if the money is allocated to our colleagues, we will be unable to implement our projects, which means we will not get the recognition that we crave. The award or prize can either be recognition, rewards, performance bonuses, love, adulation, money, or anything that is put as a prize to be won. However, if we understand that we work for the same organization with the aim of achieving the same strategic objectives, we will collaborate and help each other to win. There is no need to compete for a win-lose situation. Women in society, specifically in the Black African culture, are generally very supportive of each other. They participate in societies and stokvels that help each other during big family events such as funerals or weddings. When one of them is bereaved, the women in the community will be the first people to comfort her and help her with whatever household chores that need to be done. Same thing happens when there are weddings or parties. The women will advise and help each other to prepare for the day. When I started blogging and group coaching sessions, women were the first to give me feedback and encourage me. Some would want to be mentored and even suggest that other women who would benefit from the mentoring. However, the moment a man or position at work, which are deemed to be scarce resources, enters the picture, the most loving, caring, and supportive women turn into enemies. They can literally kill each other to obtain either one. The sad thing is that you will hear some men saying that women hate each other, forgetting that they are the ones who instigated the hatred. And because we are blinded by our own poverty mentality, we also agree with them that we hate each other. In the workplace, because it is perceived as an honor and a privilege to be one, the only woman sitting at an executive level where you receive all the attention from the men and the rest of the organization. And two, with the media also profiling and writing articles on how as a woman you have made it in a man's world. Some women who have a poverty mentality and want to hold the attention for themselves throw away the ladder or bridge after they have climbed it. If we fail to understand that each person is like a world in a miniature or a microcosmos, which is a reflection of the macrocosmos, as believed by the Stoic school of philosophy, we will always be engaging in unnecessary competitions, conflicts, and quarrels that steal our joy and take our focus from what is important in life. If I say that you are me, and I am you, I mean exactly that. We are part of the same universe or macrocosmos. This means that we must all sing one unisong verse together. We are all here to create a symphony. For it to make harmonious music, each one of us should play the musical instrument we are intended to play. We are all part of God's orchestra. If we destroy each other or refuse each other's opportunity for growth, we will not see that God has put us on earth together for a purpose, which is to be part of this symphony called life. Jalal al-Din Muhammad Rumi, a 13th century Persian Muslim poet, jurist, Islamic scholar, theologian, and Sufi mystic, who was simply known as Rumi, said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." This statement challenged my viewpoint on life. Some of us have been brought up to believe that we are a minuscule drop in the ocean. Our actions are just a drop that we pray will form powerful ripple effects to influence others. We do not have control of how far and how wide the ripples will go. However, if we were to change our mindset, instead of looking at ourselves as that drop, but as the ocean, the macrocosmos, the universe, we would appreciate that everything that is in the universe is within us. If we try to break it down to the granular, we can see that we are all a reflection of our families, friends, and communities. As life feeds on life, truth feeds on truth, and consciousness feeds on consciousness, we also feed on our communities, the universe. All of us are powerful, magnificent beings with all the resources, skills, knowledge, and wisdom to handle whatever situation. We do not have to wait for something or someone outside ourselves for solutions to our daily challenges. We just need to understand and embrace the fact that we are divine beings with all the divine characteristics of wisdom, love, temperance, and justice within ourselves. We do not have to compete with anyone for the abundant resources. Imagine if people in relationships, organizations, and communities understood and acted on how powerful and resourceful they are. Some of the challenges that we deal with on a personal and communal level will be a thing of the past. However, because of our lack of understanding of all the attributes God has bestowed on us, we still act as if we are prisoners. We are not free to think and do anything. Okay, I will stop here for today. Hi, Zach. Today you're on time. Hi, Leah. Okay, so I'll just take two things that I've read from the snippet here. So I'm not going to read the whole book. If you want to hear what's in the book, you're going to have to buy and read it for yourself. But two things that I want to highlight, because for me, these sessions are all about helping you understand where my thinking was when I was writing this book. So you would have noticed, if you started with me from day one, and if you listen, you read my musings, you listen to what I do, when I speak, and whatever it is that I do, I always talk about who are you, what is your purpose. That is my message. That is my message to each and every person. And I believe that when you find out who you are, then you become to understand your purpose. You become to understand why you are born. You become to understand the part or the instrument that you're supposed to play in this orchestra called life. Now, if we look at the universe, uni means one, verse means so. So it means in the universe, we are all here to play one song. Does that make sense? So for each